The current president of the United States is Joe Biden. We have seen so many changes when it comes to the immigration. But I wanted to go back a little bit. At the time, Donald Trump was the president. And I was wondering, what are people going to comment if Donald Trump was still a president today, doing what Joe Biden is doing right now when it comes to the immigration or to tackle certain issues? Are we going to comment exactly the same as we commented at the time of Trump was the president? Or we are going to comment, we are changing our tone because he's the new president? I want to start with a disclaimer that I'm neither of the two. I'm neither Republican, I'm neither Democratic. There are things I agree with the Democratic Party. There are things I don't agree with the Democratic Party. There are things I agree with the Republicans. There are things I don't agree with the Republicans. For those who do not know, when you are going to register to vote, you are allowed to choose what party you are affiliated with. If you go to my records, I'm neither of the two. I register as independent in the US elections. So to do that, I will take back on certain things Donald Trump did. We called him racist, someone who is against immigrants, and so many things, bad labels. The media was attacking him so bad. And I want today, I'm going to point to some of the few things the current administration is doing. And we want to see, are we going to label and do the same thing at the same rate? So let me start rolling back to the time of pandemic. So many things happened at the time of the pandemic with regard to the immigrants or immigration in general. To be exactly, when Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, made an order to stop immigrants from China to travel to the United States, this is what was shared in the news. And this is what Biden, at the time, said the following things. It was as follows. Let me show you. Biden said, on the Twitter, Joe Biden said, stop the xenophobic fear, mongering. Be honest, take responsibility, do your job. And this was on, to be exactly, on March 18, when Joe Biden tweeted that. And it went further to promote that Donald J. Trump made the block or not allowing people from China to come to America because Trump is racist. He doesn't like Chinese. Nancy Pelosi, the speaker, at the time up to now is a speaker, the same day in the middle of the time where pandemic started, went to Chinatown, celebrated with the Chinese who are in Chinatown, in DC and New York, wherever it was, to prove that Trump is racist. Dr. Fushi, and other people had their own opinion. WHO said people can be able to travel. But a few days later, they came to realize that to travel was a bad thing because you can transfer from one country to another. Almost all countries around the world, they closed their borders. But when other countries closed their borders, CNN and other companies in the media didn't call those countries also are racist. Fast forward now. When there is a new variant in India, in South Africa, President Biden, in May, was to be, I think it was May 14, if not mistaken, May something, made a suspension or a ban for people traveling from India to the United States. But nobody has called Biden administration as racist. The media is supporting, let's tackle this one. People should say there, this variant is so bad. But when Trump was there, say the variant was bad, pandemic is very, very real, this guy is racist. But the same suspension is not considered that way. Speaking of the suspension, there was another suspension for the European countries. This one came around the month of May 2020. This was for people coming from European countries, Schengen, all those countries, and also including Brazil. When that came, again, it was so bad. That was a big one. Affected also most of the airlines and other companies. You know what happened? Again, the racist guy is continuing to do the thing. It went continue the same way. So, on January 20, 2021 was the day Joe Biden was going to take the office. Before he took the oath, Trump made one last thing as executive order. In the last executive order of President Trump at that day, on January 20, 2021, was to cancel or to revoke the previously executive order of Schengen and other people from Europe to come to America through what is called the suspension based on the healthy guidelines or something like that. So that order was removed. He removed his order the day he was leaving the office. 4 days later, 21, 20, whatever, the night, he signed so many executive orders, but on 25th, like 24 days later, Biden returned to put another travel ban for the people in Europe. But I didn't hear anybody said Biden is racist. Doesn't want to see people from Europe coming to America. Why am I going to bring this one? I'm not here to defend Trump. I'm not here to defend Biden. I'm not here to bash Trump. I'm not here to bash Biden. But I'm here to remind people on the matter of principles. If we decide to stay on the principle, let's stay on the principle. And then not pick pointing what we want to hear, what we don't want to hear. It is easier when you don't like someone, anything the person is doing is considered as a bad thing. The problem now in America, everything is easier to say it is racist or is racism, to play a racist card on so many things. So, nobody, when there is suspension for people from India, even the people from India, they are not saying Biden is racist, but when Trump put the travel ban for China, was racist. But now he says guidelines. At the time of pandemic, when Trump was developing the vaccine, the media said they don't trust the vaccine because Trump was in the office. Majority of liberal said they are not going to take that vaccine. I'll be the last one. Then, because they didn't know that Biden will win, then Biden won. Biden is in the office, is the president. Now, if anybody says he's not going to take the vaccine, he's going to be punished. At that time, it was okay for people to say, I'm not taking the vaccine, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to this mandate. Anything Trump was doing is the order people to stay at home. They said this guy is a dictator. He's taking the orders from Russia. But now, what happens? Let's go talk about Kyrie, the NBA player, the one who plays for Brooklyn Nets. Before everything, he asked that he will get the waiver. America is standing for the liberty, standing for the freedom of speech. But the person now has been fined. Every single game he's not playing, because of the mandate in New York, he's not allowed to play for any home game. So has been suspended because he doesn't want to have the vaccine. But if Trump was the president today, will Kyrie be celebrated by refusing to take the mandate of the vaccine? Should it be a personal decision, just like how we take the flu vaccine? I'm not against the vaccine. I'm very supportive of the vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated, and I'm planning to get the jab, the third one. But this is America. At the time, we were going in the street, people going to the street and against the president, saying we are tired of this mandate. In the middle of the pandemic during the summer, then the issue of George Floyd came, people going everywhere. And the corona just went so high. And you say it is right of people. But now, if you say I'm not taking the vaccine, you are anti-Trump. You are Trump supporter. But you forget the same people, they were saying we are suspicious of this vaccine. We're not going to take this one. But now the game has changed. So that is the problem I'm having with people. What is changing? When Trump said, you should not come to America, we said, this guy is racist, doesn't want to see any immigrant. So I want to play one video. And this video is the vice president.
At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur.
So, do not come
at the same time
to the United States of America.
To folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the...
But tell me, how many people said this administration is racist by going? She went to Guatemala, Venezuela, in the countries on their face, told them don't come to America illegally. There are legal ways. So this is where there is a difference between Republican and Democrats. Some they entertain illegal immigration, some are not. But nobody condemned this statement that by saying don't come to America means you are against immigrants, because it comes from liberal Democratic Party. When Trump said it was racism. As I said, I'm not trying to defend anybody, but I just want to say, if we wanted to say this item is racist, it doesn't matter who is saying it. It doesn't matter. That is a problem currently we see in America. Let's go back. I can give another example, which something we have been able to see over and over again. Currently, there is negotiation going on to give money to people who broke the law, illegal immigrants. $500,000, $450,000 to give money because they cross the border. Doesn't matter what the age, because there are Americans here, they are going to jail at younger age, juvenile detention and all other kind of ways. So Democrats, the current Biden administration is planning to pay out $450,000 to illegal immigrants because they have been psychologically affected. But there are people who defended it in the war. We don't take care of our veterans. That's a problem. So the same thing, if one president is doing, the media is condemning. Another one, we are not condemning. That's a problem. So let's go and let me go and read this article, which says as follows. It's from Reuters. Biden bans most travel to US from India to limit COVID-19 spread. This one. It says as follows. On April 30th, US President Joe Biden on Friday imposed new travel restriction on India in the light of travel COVID-19 epidemic, barring most of non-US citizens from entering the United States. The new restriction, which take effect on Tuesday, May 4th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the advice of the U.S. Centers of CDC Prevention, were imposed to the because the magnitude and scope of the COVID-19 India was surging, the White House said. But when in January this year, Biden issued a similar ban on most of non-U.S. entering the United States who have recently been in South Africa. He also imposed an entry ban on nearly all non-US travelers who have been in Brazil, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and 26 countries in Europe that allow travel across open borders. China and Iran are also covered into that travel ban. But why this ban, which was imposed by Biden, media doesn't talk about? Doesn't talk that this ban is also racist. Why? So, that is something which is a problem. One president is doing the same thing, another one is racist, another one is not. So it is the same. This was in January from US Today. This was January 24, the one I was saying 24 days later. President Biden reinstated COVID-19 travel restriction lifted by Trump, imposing South Africa ban. So, President Joe Biden on Monday reinstated travel restriction on combat coronavirus infection via presidential proclamation. The restriction, which were in place for most of 2020, applied to non-citizens who have been in Brazil, Ireland, United Kingdom, and much of the Europe. Then President Donald Trump rescinded the restriction days before the end of his term, like one day or whatever it was, the last day, he took out that order. Biden proclamation brought back, effective on January 30th. But people didn't talk about this one is also part of racism. So, the point is, we should not be being played with what is going on. If something is racist, but now we are losing the value of what is racism, what is not. When you don't want something, you just call it, this is racism. If you want something, that's okay with you. When Donald Trump introduces something is called public charge, people said Donald Trump is racist, but Donald Trump is against, and everybody went to the court, all lawyers, boom, until it was taken out. But within the United States, I got green card by marriage. I could not get green card until I prove I have the money on my own, or my spouse, who is American citizen, has to prove has the certain amount of money or income. But when we say someone coming from another country to America, to have that one is racism. Okay, let's go. Right now, I'm talking to you. From October 1st, 2021, nobody is allowed to be given a green card without the COVID-19 vaccine to be fully vaccinated. And from November 8, today is November 8, I'm making this video. Nobody coming to America, if you are from, not green card, like if you are coming to America, you must be fully vaccinated. You will never be given the visa to come to America if you are not fully vaccinated. By air, if you are flying, obviously everybody is coming here by flying. But what if Trump could make that move, that you must be vaccinated to come to America? We'll say that is racism. Trump doesn't want immigrants to come to America. Why? Why do you impose the requirement of the vaccine. Why do you know there are not enough vaccine around the world? Example, in Tanzania, there are only 1 million vaccine, Johnson & Johnson. Later, they've added like 500,000, I think. But the one they were sending there were 1 million. Tanzania has more than 54 million people. So you want to tell me all people, when we take the vaccine, are for elderly, number one, people with medical conditions. So there are priorities. But how many people, young people, have the opportunity to get out of those 1 million vaccine, there are 54 million people, a student to be given the vaccine or someone to get the vaccine? We don't see the difficulties imposed to the people who are coming to America. Right now we say, oh, we want to protect America. But when Trump was doing to protect America through that way, we said this guy is racist, he doesn't want immigrants. But tell me, how many countries in developing countries which country in East Africa or in Africa has more than 5 million vaccine? How many countries? You can count them. Almost nothing. No country. I'm big supporter of vaccine. But the same energy we use to say this guy is racist because he said you must have this type of income so that you cannot be a public share with the US government is racist. Stay in your home country was racist. Kamala Harris said stay in your own country, don't come to America. Follow the legal immigration, which is what you're supposed to do. Every single day on my channel, I'm talking about different ways to come to America in a legal way. I'm talking about different ways to go to Canada in a legal way. In June 2020, Trump said, I'm planning to end the diversity visa lottery because that is a randomly program, taking even someone in primary school. We want to introduce something like Canada or Australia. They have the merit-based immigration point-based system, which means if you have a degree, you apply. Just like you see how Canada, they take a lot of immigrants with a bachelor, master's, PhD. That's what we want. Trump is racist. Why don't we say Canada is racist by having that system? When you are president, you have to defend your country. So my point overall is let's stop to be this kind of people who are more, I can say, choosing what to think is right, what is not wrong, based on our interest. So if we are against with Trump about doing this one, if you put suspension to Chinese, to India, was racist, it doesn't matter who is putting this suspension. So if Biden is doing that way, we have to do the same thing. At the time when it was the time people and Trump administration where they were given a standing ovation in the Oscar or anywhere they make it. If you make a speech, even on the TV, and you say "F you Trump," or this guy, you just say bad word to him, people are clapping. It's fun. People are whatever. People flip their fingers toward the president. But right now, there is one employee of Southwest said, let's go Brandon. If you say that word, it is more than F you Trump. The same media which they encouraged, the same social media which encouraged the F you Trump, now if you say let's go Brandon, you are going to be fired from your job. That is the highest level of hypocrisy. And it's not right. If you say anything against the current administration or on certain issues, there is this stupid thing about cancel culture. You are going to be cancelled. So there is no freedom. What we need to do is just to continue to have the normal conversation. Let's agree to disagree. And let's go on the issues. What are the immigration laws are saying? If the immigration laws, which are clear, illegal person is a person entering in America with the illegal ways, not to follow the proper ways to go to the visa and coming here. Or coming here, then you extend your time. If you get caught, these are the regulations. Even if you go to Mecca without a visa, you will be taken to jail. Simple and clear. So let's support legal immigration. Let's discourage illegal immigration. It doesn't matter. Even if I'm a president today, when Obama was a president, Obama didn't interfere. Obama is a Democrat, didn't interfere. His sister on the process of getting the green card. Obama didn't interfere. But he could have that power to interfere. He could sponsor his sister. He could do other things behind the scene, but he didn't interfere. His sister had to go through a lot of complication until he became a permanent resident. So, that's the situation we are having now. So, I was trying to compare the two so that you can be able to see. So, people who were upset about green card lottery, and they say Trump is racist because blah, 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 go with the same energy right now for the current administration, what is doing. The same administration which said too much about the previous administration that is against immigration, they failed to pass the immigration law or changes within the party itself before it goes to the Senate or to the Congress, to the table. There have been some of the Democrats are supporting, some are not supporting. It has been a very big disaster. But nobody is calling Democrats themselves that this is something like that way. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Yeah. Thank you. I believe I haven't upset anyone. I was just trying to share, just to give you a perspective. As I said, I'm a very big supporter of any president in power. I was in the military. I took the oath in the office to support, salute, and respect to any president in power and take the orders. So no matter I don't agree with certain policies of any president, I will still respect them. I'll never go and just start to use FU, whatever the president is. No. He's older than me. He's leading our country, the greatest country on the planet Earth. That's what I believe.